The Byzantine Empire, once a mighty power in the Mediterranean, was facing difficult times. This empire, which had stood as a beacon of strength and culture for centuries, was now grappling with a myriad of challenges that threatened its very existence. The grandeur of Constantinople, with its majestic Hagia Sophia and formidable walls, seemed a distant memory as the empire struggled to maintain its territories and influence. By the late 13th century, it was a shadow of its former glory. The once thriving cities and bustling trade routes were now marred by decay and neglect. The empire's economy was in shambles, and its military, once invincible, was now a mere fraction of its former strength. The political landscape was equally dire, with internal strife and power struggles further weakening the empire's cohesion. Internal conflicts and external threats had weakened its hold on Anatolia, the vast peninsula that is now Turkey. The Byzantine Empire was constantly under siege from various fronts, with enemies both within and outside its borders. The Seljuk Turks, who had already established a significant presence in Anatolia, were a constant threat, while internal rebellions and disputes over succession further destabilized the empire. Among those who challenged the empire's authority were Turkish warriors known as Ghazis, who sought to expand their territories and spread Islam. These warriors were driven by a fervent belief in their cause, and their relentless campaigns further eroded the Byzantine Empire's control over its lands. The Ghazis were not just skilled fighters, they were also adept at rallying support from local populations, which made them even more formidable. These Ghazis were led by ambitious chiefs, and one of the most prominent among them was Osman Gazi, the founder of the Ottoman dynasty. Osman Gazi's leadership and vision laid the foundation for what would eventually become one of the most powerful empires in history. His ability to unite various Turkish tribes and his strategic acumen in battle were key factors in his rise to prominence. Under his leadership, the Ghazis not only expanded their territories, but also established a legacy that would endure for centuries. Osman Gazi was a charismatic and skilled leader. He inherited a small territory in Bithynia, northwestern Anatolia, from his father, Ertugrul. Osman's ambition went beyond merely ruling this small principality. He envisioned a vast empire that would stretch across Anatolia and beyond. He rallied the Ghazis to his cause, promising them both material gain and spiritual rewards. Osman's forces grew in strength, and he began to challenge Byzantine control over key cities and trade routes. The Battle of Magnesia, fought near the town of Magnesia ad Sipylum in 1302, was a pivotal moment in the rise of the Ottoman Empire. This battle was not just another skirmish, it was a defining event that would shape the future of the region for centuries to come. It marked the first major confrontation between the Ottomans and the Byzantines, two powerful forces vying for dominance in a rapidly changing world. The stakes were incredibly high, as both empires understood that the outcome of this battle could alter the balance of power in the region, and its outcome would have far-reaching consequences for both empires. The battlefield was littered with the remnants of fierce combat, a stark reminder of the high cost of war. The soldiers who survived were left to ponder the implications of their victory or defeat. The Byzantine Emperor Andronikos II Palaiologos, alarmed by Osman's growing power, knew that he had to act swiftly to curb the Ottoman expansion. The rise of Osman and his forces posed a significant threat to the stability and security of the Byzantine Empire, sent a large army under the command of his brother, Theodore, to confront the Ottoman threat. Theodore was a seasoned commander, well versed in the art of war, and he understood the gravity of the mission entrusted to him. The Byzantine army consisted of a mix of Byzantine troops, Allied mercenaries, and other soldiers from various regions. This diverse composition was both a strength and a weakness, as it brought together different fighting styles and tactics, but also posed challenges in terms of coordination and unity, and some allied Turkish forces. These alliances were crucial, as they provided additional manpower and resources, but they also required careful management to ensure that all factions worked together towards a common goal. The stage was set for a monumental clash that would echo through history. Osman Gazi, though facing a numerically superior enemy, was not intimidated. He carefully chose his battlefield, taking advantage of the terrain and his knowledge of the area. He deployed his forces on higher ground, giving them a tactical advantage. The Ottoman army consisted mainly of light cavalry skilled in hit-and-run tactics. They were armed with bows and arrows, javelins and swords, and their mobility gave them an edge over the slower and more heavily armed Byzantine army. Section 5. Byzantine weakness, seeds of defeat. The Byzantine army, on the other hand, was hampered by several weaknesses. It was a diverse force, lacking cohesion and unity of command. The morale of the Byzantine troops was low, and their leadership was indecisive. They underestimated the Ottomans' strength and resolve, expecting an easy victory. This complacency proved to be their undoing. Section 6. The aftermath of battle. A turning point in history, the Battle of Magnesia ended in a decisive victory for Osman Gazi and his Ottoman forces. The Byzantine army was routed and many of its soldiers were killed or captured. The victory sent shockwaves through the Byzantine Empire, revealing the extent of its decline and the growing threat posed by the Ottomans. For Osman, it was a triumph that cemented his authority and paved the way for further expansion. Section 7. Osman's legacy forging an empire. The Battle of Magnesia marked a turning point in the history of both the Ottoman Empire and the Byzantine Empire. For the Ottomans, it was a springboard to future conquests. It gave them control over a large part of western Anatolia, including the strategically important city of Bursa, which would later become the first Ottoman capital. The victory also boosted Ottoman morale and attracted more followers to Osman's banner. Section 8. The decline of Byzantium, echoes of Magnesia. For the Byzantines, Magnesia was a disaster. It exposed the fragility of their empire and their inability to counter the rising Ottoman threat. The battle accelerated the decline of Byzantine power in Anatolia, which they would never regain. The loss of territory and resources further weakened the Byzantine state, paving the way for its eventual downfall at the hands of the Ottomans in 1453. Section 9. Conclusion. Magnesia's enduring significance. The Battle of Magnesia holds a significant place in history. This pivotal conflict, fought in 190 BC, was a decisive moment that shaped the course of empires and the fate of nations. The clash between the Roman Republic and the Seleucid Empire was not just a battle for territory, but a struggle for dominance and influence in the ancient world. The Roman victory at Magnesia marked the beginning of Rome's expansion into the eastern Mediterranean, setting the stage for centuries of Roman dominance. It marked the beginning of the Ottoman Empire's rise to prominence as a major power in the region and the world. The Ottomans, under the leadership of Sultan Osman I, capitalized on their victory to consolidate power and expand their territories. This victory was not just a military triumph, but a strategic masterstroke that allowed the Ottomans to establish a foothold in the region, which they would continue to expand over the coming centuries. The victory at Magnesia provided the Ottomans with the momentum and resources they needed to expand their empire and eventually conquer Constantinople, the crown jewel of Byzantium. This conquest in 1453 was a turning point in world history, marking the end of the Byzantine Empire and the beginning of a new era of Ottoman dominance. The fall of Constantinople had far-reaching consequences, reshaping trade routes, cultural exchanges, and political alliances. The battle also highlighted the decline of the Byzantine Empire and its inability to cope with the challenges posed by the Ottomans and other rising powers. The Byzantines, once a formidable force, found themselves increasingly unable to defend their territories against the relentless Ottoman advance. This decline was not just a military failure, but a reflection of deeper political, economic, and social issues that plagued the Byzantine state. The echoes of the clash at Magnesia resonated through the centuries, shaping the political landscape of the region and beyond. The battle's legacy can be seen in the shifting borders, the rise and fall of empires, and the enduring cultural and historical impact on the region. Magnesia's significance is a testament to how a single battle can alter the course of history, influencing the destinies of countless generations.